Maybe it's now.
All
it's
right.
now.
Right. We are. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome back to another episode of Creator Talk. We're really excited. We have two awesome channels on. You're seeing a total of 4 guests. Giacomo, and I'm sorry, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing everything properly. Sean, and is it Mickey?
Yes, sir.
Mickey. They run Hustle Hub. And Dr. J here runs, is it The Vibe? I want to make sure.
The Vibe Mindset.
The Vibe Mindset. So really cool channels. I just came to know them today as Rick reached out and got them both on the channel. I watched a few videos today. Really good, insightful channels, growing very fast and very cool stories. And the way we kind of just started off, we go around in a certain direction. So we'll probably start here with Mickey and work our way up and across and let everyone give an introduction. Rick, are all their channels linked in the description below?
Yep. So everybody give you guys. Yep, absolutely. You guys can subscribe to them. They'll be linked in the description below. It'd be great for you guys to go and check it out and subscribe away.
So with that said, we'll let them give their introductions and definitely check out the channels. I was very impressed. Really blown away. You guys are more so new. I mean, I've been on YouTube for almost a couple years now. You guys are both under a year, I believe. So if you guys want to give your introductions, and then we'll get into questions. So we'll go first with Mickey.
All right. My name is Mickey Galluccio, and I'm from Italy. And Sean and Giacomo, we're running Hustle Hub. And we're actually doing this like seriously from about like to
September,
month and a half ago. Yeah, from September, middle September. But everything started with Giacomo because usually during the first lockdown was about March, right? He started posting YouTube videos about entrepreneurs and their lives, so like mostly like biography about them. And then we were friends, so I saw his channel, what he was doing, and I was like, man, you can do this better, so let me help you out, And then we started figuring out like a way to present the stuff more like put like a better visual effects, something like that will actually helping grow the channel, making the information enjoyable to the spectator, and especially because these concepts are like for most people are not like that clear. So that was our main goal. And yes, pretty much there is. I mean, we're just beginning. I'm trying to learn everything I can do on my own. Learning on YouTube about YouTube, and yeah, pretty much. And yeah, Rika.
I just have a quick question, because so as 3 of you running one channel, if you could really each identify as we work our way around, Mickey, what is the biggest thing that you do for the channel? And we talked about Sean will share his too, and then curious to see what Giacomo, like how the 3 of you kind of operate your YouTube business. What is your specialty? What do you do for your channel?
That's a great question, actually. So basically, I mean, right now we're 3 here in this live, but actually we're 5 basically, and the other 2 can be here tonight. But basically, Giacomo. Yeah, I mean, because we're trying to every time everyone got his own job, his specific job to do. So basically, Giacomo and I are working more on the scripted video and on researching other new topics and what we're supposed to improve and working on the organization and looking for collaboration and all this stuff. And Sean normally is doing the editing part, and then the Sean girlfriend that does the audio. So sometimes if you hear a girl talking, that's her girlfriend, his girlfriend. And then we got another friend that he's running the Instagram, and yeah, pretty much. And normally I'm the one who does the thumbnails. Yeah, but basically I want to say that we're all college students, and we're actually like coming across all this knowledge about finances and personal finance, economics, and we found it like really interesting, and like our peers normally don't talk about it or they don't know anything about it. So it's also a way to what we are learning and share with people that actually don't know it and actually be helpful to the community and other people too.
Awesome.
Got it. Okay.
So Sean, so you have less interest in the personal finance and in entrepreneurship, but you're mainly into editing. How did you get to know these guys?
I always had a big interest in just editing, just whatever. It doesn't matter what topic. I'll edit everything. And I know Giacomo, the brain of the channel, since
We were
15, 16 years, since I was 6 or 7, so from the beginning. And actually, fun fact, I never met two components of the channel. I never met in real person Miki, because we're still in lockdown, so I can't go visit him, or he can't come here.
Well, can I throw something out too? Just because you guys are unique, you're all living in Italy, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but we live in Milan, but
Like
we can't
We
go out.
live in a town.
town.
Me and Sean, we live in a town that is 10 minutes away from Milan. And during lockdown, we couldn't even go to Milan, which was 10 minutes away. We were restricted in our own town, so we didn't get the chance to meet each other. And when restrictions loosened a bit, Mickey was in the United States at that time, so we couldn't meet each other, and it was weird because he was working in complete different hours from us, but we got along.
While they were sleeping, I was editing the video, doing the thumbnails, doing the scripts, or doing the voiceover, because at the beginning didn't have like Sean and his girlfriend to help us out. So
was this channel born from the pandemic?
Probably yes, as a result of the pandemic, because I found myself with more free time, and I wanted to use that free time for a long-term goal rather than wasting time. Yeah, from my point of view, I study in a faculty that is called Banking, Finance, and Insurance Sciences. So it was pretty natural to start talking about these topics, and my issue was that I wasn't really good technically, but I found some really good partners to help me out.
Excellent. So before we get to Jay and his channel, I just got to commend you guys. 5 people working on one channel is kind of like the dream to come true, man. That is incredible. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about Sean's girlfriend Anna, which is doing a great job with the audios. So shout out to her.
I didn't even ask her to do anything. She just came and asked me, do you want me to do the voice, or do you want me to give a hand? I said, that's not a bad idea. A female voice or a female image is always good.
Wow.
So,
yeah, I mean, Sean came to me and he'd be like, my girlfriend hear about this and she liked this. She want to help us out. So basically, I talked with her, send her a script, and to see how her voice was. And I mean, the pronunciation was nice because she never actually lived outside Italy, and I was kind of surprised, but I liked it. I like it. I like the pronunciation. I like the voice, how it sounds. So I say, I mean, she's in.
Good.
And quick
Excellent.
question before we jump to Jay. I'm just curious. Just given, you know, early on, Italy was big in the news, getting hit so hard by the COVID and high casualty numbers. How are things now, and how are things, and how is the public dealing with the restrictions, and what is the overall consensus of the people with the level of restrictions? What's the state of Italy in the coronavirus, essentially?
Yeah, it was.
Generally, like, people are doing like pretty good. I mean, they all respecting the rules, and they trying to be polite with everything, with the new laws, the new restriction that we got. So basically, we hope to get out this soon. And now it's getting better a little bit.
I mean, like with everything at the beginning, you never know. Like we never knew in February what was pandemic or what was the virus, so no one was able to manage, and the restrictions were much higher then, and we were a couple of months in lockdown. It was really, from my point of view, was really scary.
Yeah.
And then, but now we know what it is, and we know how to, let's say, how to keep our distance, keeping the mask on. It's much more gestibile, come si dice? Controllable.
It's high. It's
it's more,
easier to handle that. To
Yeah.
handle
much
the
under
situation.
control about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go over and get Jay introduced, and you can carry on with COVID after that. How's that? So we don't get too far away. So, Jay, tell us about your channel. Sorry, man. There's like 3 getting stuck. Jay tonight. Sorry.
I have no posse. My name is Dr. Jay Kavanaugh. My posse's on break tonight, so me. I have a channel called The Vibe Mindset, and my website's thevibemindset.com. And the Vibe is an acronym to become a better version of yourself, to basically become your future self. And so when we talk acronym, just remember the word vibe. The V is to get crystal clear on who you have to become to get what you want. A lot of times we focus on things that we want, but we don't realize that you have to change who you are to get what you want. And then the I is for imagination. You got to activate all 5 senses to kind of like feel like that future self is happening today and it's possible today. A lot of times you hear people talk about visualization, but truth of the matter is you want to close that gap between imagination and reality. And the way you do that is by activating as many senses as you can to make it as real as possible. The B is for belief, the belief that you're becoming 1% better every day by creating your vibe. And the E is for emotion, which is feeling energized by basically raising your vibration, which is a kind of a trendy term for saying elevate your emotions, which is feel better, feel excited. You talk about like anger, frustration, guilt, embarrassment is like a lower vibe emotion. When you raise your vibe, it's like gratitude, happiness, joy, bliss, things like that. So
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
I can already feel your energy. Where does the doctor? What's your doctorate in? What's your background?
Sure. So I'm an optometrist. So I usually see patients 1 to 2 days a week in my private practice. But who wants to be an eye doctor when you can be a YouTube star?
Everybody says nowadays.
I just want to be famous, and no, I'm just kidding. I actually really don't want to be famous. If that's a byproduct, that's fine. But truth be told, is not to get emotional, but my dad passed away probably an hour and a half ago. That would be odd. A year and a half ago, and when he did, I was like, I got to figure out a way to like manage this. And so one of the odd things that I just popped into my mind is I'm like, wait, I can feel that he's not dead because half of me is him. So if half of me is my mom and half of me is my dad, then theoretically he's kind of still alive. So I'm like, all right, that means that I need to honor him by creating something that is kind of like something to remember myself, him, and just like leave something in the world when I check out, where it's like, hey, look at this cool stuff this guy created, like kind of like almost like a legacy of sorts, because I don't have kids and I really have no desire to have them. So the vibe mindset to me is kind of like my way of coming up with something and a way of thinking where people can, if they remember the vibe mindset and remember to activate it, you can really, it has a dramatic effect on programming not only your subconscious mind, but setting you up for success throughout your day. I mean, I'm very conscious and aware of the things I think of right before I go to bed and the things I think about the second I wake up, like literally before my eyes open. Like I know I'm awake, but my eyes are closed. Those are the 2 times I put the most focus in, and it sets my tone for the day.
I mean, I think that's really powerful, and I think people, you know, I think it's maybe something not talked about enough. Overall, just like, you know, priming your states and things like that. And we'll probably go deeper in detail, but like I can even like attest to, like I'll get on the, like today I called Rick, and just like how I was like I had such a rough couple days. And I couldn't even like, I just working and stressed about things, and like just hearing you speak, and like maybe if my energy level was different, like the situations that I had would have been easier to bear, or maybe people would have dealt with me differently, which I would have assumed. So I needed, like I said, I went through some of your videos today. You know, thanks to Rick, I'm aware of both your guys' channels. As we're all, you know, learning to, you know, our own grooves in the YouTube algorithm. And you know, bringing creators like this together really helps, you know, expose your platform. So I really dig what you're into, Jay.
Yeah. So, you know, a lot of it is like emotional intelligence, right? Like how aware are you that you're feeling frustrated? Like today, you said this happened in the last couple of days though, right?
2 days ago, I had a big argument with a client, and like I for whatever, you know, for whatever reason it occurred, and I carried it with me for the last 2 days. And today I kind of had somewhat of a resolution I was at peace with. Mm-hmm. But it really, I can't shake things off, you know, in an easy way maybe. And I'm not sure if that's a way to do things or not do things. I mean, but I'll let you interject there.
Well, I mean, the reason why you can't shake things off fast is probably because you haven't worked on shaking things off fast.
Possibly.
You know, I'm not a good goalie for soccer because I don't practice being a goalie at soccer. So it's that simple. And so I think if you were to start with, like, a lot of it's just self-awareness. Self-awareness is everything. Like, how do I even feel right now? You know, it's like how many people walk around in a state of misery, victimhood, depression, and it's like that's their default state. Like they don't even know any different. That's just who they are. And it's like, is it really who you are, or is that just an emotional state? Like maybe if you were to be aware and almost kind of like step outside of yourself, almost kind of like shining a light on yourself and saying, hey, you know, what is my emotional state? And then coming up with an idea as to how to, you want to feel emotions because emotions want you to act. They want you to change. They want you to do something different. So a lot of times if someone's feeling frustrated or angry, they label that a negative emotion, but there's no such thing as a good or bad emotion. There might be an emotion that doesn't serve you, or, you know, what have you, but the reality is it's trying to, because it's trying to get you to do something different. And so I think in your case, what you find is when you have a lower vibe emotion, like frustration, like you were just like, I can't believe this happened. If you really broke it down, you probably could have analyzed the situation. I mean, I'm not sure, but you tell me. You could have probably analyzed the solution, looked at it a couple different perspectives, and come up with the fact that maybe your expectations were too high. Maybe the perception of the client had of what you thought was going on, there was some sort of miscommunication. Who knows? Maybe he just burned you, whatever it was. But if you try to close the gap of the emotion that you have in the refractory period and like let it go, like I practice this on the road. Like I race cars too. So I'm usually the type of person where I'll bump draft you. I don't even care. And so I need to I needed to work on that. That was a problem for me. But now if you check me up on the highway, I work on, instead of getting angry, I say, how quickly can I recover from this? And I have it down to the point where you could check me up so hard and I'm over it in less than 5 seconds because I work on it. And so, you know, a lot of it is just managing your emotions and being in control of them, but also respecting what they're there for as well, if that makes sense.
Have you been to a UPW?
A what?
Have you been to a UPW?
No.
A Tony Robbins event?
Oh, no, not yet. No, Tony's great. I'm
Yeah.
more addicted to Joe Dispenza right now, although I do respect and love Tony Robbins.
Yeah, I've been to. I've walked on coals. I've done all that, and trying to get there. You know, it's interesting stuff. But it is important when you leave one of those events. You feel like you can go out and tackle the world, and I'm like, you know, and then like it wears off a little bit. You know.
Well, yeah. Well, it motivates you, right? But it motivates you, but it doesn't change who you are. So when you leave, you just go back to default mode. That's why you have to, like, if you really look at what true change is, you have to change your identity. And then it's like, well, what's your identity? Your identity is personality traits, you know? So you have to really almost kind of like do like an alter ego thing. Like if you are like when I go to work out, for example, I have a gym downstairs in my basement. When I go down there, I don't work out as Dr. Kavanaugh because any doctor I know doesn't look like they've even seen a weight. So when I go downstairs, I embody like C.T. Fletcher. I embody like an axe murderer. Like I am screaming bloody murder. I am a beast in my gym downstairs because I become someone different, but it's really me. But I embody the traits of a strong person and like a murderer almost. And I get the best workouts ever.
That's awesome.
Good. That's awesome. That's cool. So guys, just quickly, getting back to our channels then. What do you guys found out? So let's, Hustle Hub, you guys, what have you guys found out? Like, what have you guys learned about YouTube that you might want to say, consider a tip or maybe a secret per se that you can, enlighten everybody else about that's really helped your channel, say, grow or, in your niche or anything to do with YouTube that you can that anybody watching this right now can benefit from? What have you guys learned?
Definitely be consistent, uploading consistent. We've been uploading like 3 times a week for the last almost 3 months. And recently, just in the last month, not even like last month, like last 2-3 weeks, we started growing like a lot. And yeah, be consistent and also try to give like a high quality in your videos. Try to improve every time. So, for example, me, that I'm doing the thumbnails. I'm trying to since I studied psychology, I'm trying to apply what I'm studying to what I'm doing. So, for example, try to catch the eyes, what color can be better, or like maybe something that is written there, like a word or like an image that actually catches more the eye, that actually help thumbnails definitely. But also, even if the thumbnail is good, you gotta check that the actual video is still high quality all the time, So you can just like be good for the first 10 seconds and then trash for the rest of the maybe 10 minutes of video. So definitely be consistent, high quality. Definitely. I don't know, guys, if you have anything else to add to it.
Patience. And
So yeah, Sean does the editing, right? You do all the editing for Hustle Hub, right?
Yeah,
Sean?
definitely.
Hence the term patience.
patience, a lot of patience, and
Oh, that's so true.
and try new stuff, innovative stuff. Always try something new. We're not even a big channel, we're a tiny channel. So now is the time to try new stuff, to try to adjust, to reach
see what
perfection,
works.
let's say.
From my point of view, I try to explain concepts, ideas, and not to give anything for granted, because I really want people to understand what I'm saying. So if I talk about I don't know, investment strategy, why it is like that, try to make them understand that everything is there for a reason. So why do hedge funds invest like that? There's a reason why they do that. And I really try to give them every single tool they need to understand the idea behind it. That's my
Good.
Yeah, definitely try to be clear on what you're saying with the definitions and everything. Like sometimes with, when we got communication and everything, we be like, yo man, this is too complex. We gotta do more easy to understand. Like everybody have to understand this concept. It's complex, so not everybody can understand it. So sometimes, yeah, I'd be like, it's easy to understand, and Giacomo tell me, no, it's not. We gotta do more easily, and and sometimes the opposite. So try to be understandable by everyone.
For example, we did a video that explained what is the business model of brokers that offer you free trades. Right now there's Robinhood. Everybody's talking about Robinhood, and in Europe there are other brokers, and you kind of wonder how do they make money off me by offering me free trades. So that's quite interesting how the process works, but it's really insightful.
Excellent. Jay, what do you think?
All right, let's have fun. Ryan, give me 1 minute and I'm going to try to rattle off how many I can come up with in less than a minute. So you got to time me. You ready?
All right, here I'm gonna.
And I'm winging this, by the way. I didn't plan this, just so you know. I'm just.
Let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're on.
All right, YouTube thumbnails. I try to have 3 words if I can or less, 4 max. 2, don't ever not pay attention to your analytics. There's so much data in YouTube Studio. Even if you're early stage like I am, go in, look, see what click-through rates are working, see what's not. And 3, I would say definitely the first 10 seconds is everything. Pay attention to the first 10 seconds. Put 80% of your effort into that. 4, I would say you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes I find myself paralyzed by trying to come up with fresh content. I use the 80-20 rule once again with that. And I say, as long as 80% of my stuff is stuff that people are familiar with, inject 20% of things that maybe they haven't heard before. Next, I'm big on lighting. This lighting I get compliments on all the time. And I love pink. My girlfriend loves pink. I like color. So audio for sure is king. Audio is king, 100%.
That's it. Good job, Jay. Nice one. Excellent, buddy. Nice one. Excellent work, man. Excellent. Excellent. All right, so back to the Hustle Hub here. Cody's got a quick question for you. What are your favorite Italian foods?
Wine.
Quickly on this answer, quickly.
It's impossible to answer quickly, but I am proudly Milanese, so I will say one that you may not know, which is ossobuco with risotto giallo. You may not know it, but don't undervalue Milan.
Actually, there's a chance I'm going to Milan when this whole thing clears up.
We'll meet up because
we gotta meet up.
I gotta say another thing that I found. A video online made by Alux, which is pretty big channel, which made guide of Milan, which is total BS. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's it. And it looks like everything that you have that is there to see in Milan. It's in 50 meters back and forth, and he goes to the Duomo, he walks 10 minutes, he goes to the Galleria, and he comes back, and that's it. And he says something like the restaurant you have to be in is, I don't know, I never heard about it. So yeah, there's a lot more to see in Milan.
There's actually a company.
It's quite undervalued.
There's a company in Milan that wants me to help them get access to the American market called Solano's. They manufacture dish machines, commercial dishwashers. So they want to.
Okay.
They're lost. They're in the United States trying to figure out how to find the market, and they found me. So they want to fly me out to Milan when this whole thing clears up and help them come up with a strategy to sell in the American market. So maybe we link up and you'll show me the good restaurants in Milan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Here, good people meeting other good people. Excellent.
Yeah.
How about you guys, Sean, Mickey, quickie? What are your favorite foods?
I'm
Pasta
boring.
pizza, very traditional.
Sorry.
I'm boring and simple. Just
Yeah.
pizza and pasta. I live off pizza and pasta.
Yeah.
How are Italians? I see Italians that all they do is eat carbs all day and they're still thin. I don't understand. And they're like this.
Yeah, that's incredible. How do you guys do it?
Now we're young. Maybe if you interview us 20 years from now, it will be different. But I work out, so hopefully it won't be that bad.
So there's two topics. We'll do one now. Well, I'll shoot it at Jay. Which I don't know what you're gonna tackle first. We talked about a business growing at lunchtime that they developed, or also want to speak about Theta. I'm however you would pronounce it. Theta. Which one do you want to tackle first?
So what was that lunch? You said something about lunchtime. Is that what it happened?
The short term, you built a business. You were able to sell for 40,000. Was it or 60,000?
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, well, all right. Yeah. Let's do that one real quick. So this is for someone who wants to validate a business idea fast. And I learned this from Noah Kagan of AppSumo, if you guys are familiar with Noah. So what Noah said one time, and it just resonated with me because it was so simple. He loves to simplify. Is he said, if you have a business idea, he goes, if you can't sell it to your friends on Facebook, who know, like, and trust you, how the hell are you going to sell it to people that have no idea who you are? And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. And so at the time I was doing very interested in conversion rate optimization and analyzing websites for conversions. So I said, okay. And I heard that tip, and I'm the type of person I take action. So I heard the tip. Then I immediately went into Canva. I created this graphic, and the key was you had to charge someone. You couldn't do it for free, because if someone doesn't pay you for something, they're not really that interested. So I did this cheesy little Facebook post that said website reviews for $9. So he said to keep it low, keep the barrier low, but see if people buy. So I posted it, and I sold 10 in a day. So what was wild is the $90, you know, I probably made like, 60 cents an hour doing the reviews I did. But that's cash money. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, it was on PayPal, so I probably got taxed on it. But anyway, so I didn't make much money. However, the more important thing is I validated a business idea. And because I validated it, and because some of these guys were like, wow, like, I cannot believe how much value you gave me for $9. I was like, wow, I need to go on Upwork and start selling my services. So long story short, that turned into me being on Upwork, taking about 6 months to really get moving. And then one time I hit my big fish, which was a very high-end digital agency in New York that basically was charging $8,000 a month to a client for my services and then paying me $4,000. And I was doing all the work on my lunch break in between patients.
Wow.
I was getting $4,000 a month for however long it was. I don't know, 8 months. I don't know, whatever it was.
Entrepreneurialism, I love it.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is key. I love it. Wow. Good for you, man. Good for you.
Thanks.
What else did you want to touch base on there, Ryan?
Well, I watched your video about Theta today, and I as you can tell, like, I've been to a Tony Robbins event. Always looking for these different ways to, I feel like it's just like, I always like use this term sometimes, like we're floating on this rock around this fireball through space. Like, it's kind of confusing, always kind of hard, and trying to, we don't have the perfect pamphlet on how to do it all. So I'm very fascinated by this concept of Theta and creativity and flow, and Jay will articulate it much better than I can. So I love for him to touch on that, so I can better understand and ask him questions, and also people watching can find value. So.
Sure. So to go back to what you said about Tony Robbins, where you left, you were motivated, you're charged, you're like, I got this, and you just went back to your default state. The reason why that happened, just so you know, is that 95% of how you think, feel, and act is all subconscious. And so What Tony did with you was all the 5%, which is conscious thought, which is, it's motivating and it's great. However, it's not sustainable. And so when you start thinking about the subconscious mind, that's where repetition is. That's where your habits lie. And so what theta state is, it's a brainwave state. So you have these different states. When you're awake, you know, you're in a beta state. If you're relaxed and awake, it's an alpha state. Once you start drifting off to sleep, you start to go through theta. And then when you're passed out, you go to delta. Gamma is a state not many people hit. That's more like enlightenment. It's very rare. But anyways, with theta state, the reason why it's important is it allows you the opportunity to program your subconscious mind, because a lot of people from the age of 0 to 6, when you're a child, you're running most of the time on theta state. You're not really conscious, believe it or not, at that stage. And so you're very impressionable. That's why a lot of us, if we have limiting beliefs or we have something that holds us back, like we're not good enough or we're not worthy, it's usually because of a false belief that we created from the ages of 0 to 6, and we programmed it into our subconscious mind. So the only way to access your subconscious mind as an adult is through theta, which you got 2 opportunities a day. When you enter into sleep and when you come out of it and awaken, you go through that brainwave state. And so if you can get familiar with what it feels like, which is a little tricky, but not that difficult, you can start programming either desirable traits into your subconscious mind. Some people are into affirmations. I'm not
great at them.
I'm not into them because they create a state of lack. If I'm poor and I say, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, it's like I'm BSing myself. So I have cognitive dissonance. I'm actually making it worse. But if I say I'm becoming 1% richer and then I take an action today to validate that statement, all right, that's a different story. But no one does that, or few. I'm sure there's one person in Idaho that does it. But other than that, no one typically does.
Okay.
Guys, what's the best part about being a YouTube creator?
Being able to express yourself and express your thoughts. One of the reasons why I started with the biographies was that I wasn't happy about the biographies I saw around. For example, I saw the HBO biography of Warren Buffett, and I really enjoyed it. But the point that I didn't like is that they covered the very few questionable things that he did. That I think it's normal to do some things in your lifetime that are not so good. Warren Buffett, I really like him, but they shouldn't cover up. They should say it all, basically. So being able to have a platform to talk and to say all the good things and all the bad things without having to express your without having to follow, I don't know, an agenda, which big media has probably, it's pretty nice. Because I read a book which is called Barbarians at the Gate, which talks about one of the largest leveraged buyouts in private equity. And there was this quote took from Warren Buffett, which was approving a leveraged buyout in the tobacco field. And he was saying that tobacco is a great business because it costs a cent to make a cigarette and it sells for $1 and it's addictive. But on the other side, he did really good things. But the thing is that they shouldn't cover up bad things. They should put all in perspective. And so being able to do that by myself was really, really nice.
Good. Next.
Well, question I want to kind of pose to the Hustle Hub. Being in Italy, like who, and I want to ask the same question to Jay too, but who is the person that you are trying to connect with? Do you have like a particular end user? Who's your customer for YouTube? Who do you think is watching your video? And also just demographically, since you're in Italy, is there, you looking at your analytics, is there, you get most of your views from Italy or the United States?
No, in United States,
very diversified.
Canada,
uh,
even.
Canada, Great Britain, Australia. There's
US,
not much.
Outside of Italy.
Yeah,
also
the interest.
Japan got many views. I don't know why, but I don't know. Japanese people like our videos.
Yeah, there's not much interest around the topics in Italy yet.
But
It's growing.
about
Why do you think that is?
okay, I don't know. Probably because like when you grow up, you actually people told you, your parents. Most of people grow up like that. Parents told them you gotta go to school and grow up, graduate from high school, go to college, get a degree. Then maybe here in Italy, it's normal to go get your degree and then get a master degree, and depending on what you study, maybe get a PhD, something like that, and then go find a job and work for somebody else for about 40 to 50 years, because I mean, Italy is like, it's not that good with the retirement plans and all that. So I mean, and also like maybe until the 90s, it was still like maybe a good system, because we got like a semi-strong economy. Then after the 2000, when we change our value, we changed from the lira
Yeah, to the
from
euro.
2 euros. That changed completely the economy. So basically, completely, and also like here in LA, especially, I didn't notice like there is such how like a purpose to pursue your own career, be maybe your own boss, or create your own life. You know what I mean? And I don't know, it's just like a mentality to work for like a big company and go there, or if you don't work for a great company, go work for the state. Like public service. Join the police, the army, or whatever, or becoming a teacher or school, something like that. I mean, and it's pretty common. Like I saw so many people giving up on their dreams because the environment didn't actually uh, push dreams up. So I mean, I think it's just a mentality of giving up on dreams and be.
There's a good book. There's a good book to read. It's called, and maybe the world's changing now with the internet and the fabric and YouTube channels like this now, but it's called The Geography of Genius. And when you said that, just reminded me of that. If the environment doesn't nurture, for this book's term, they're calling genius, but whatever, there seems to be these genius clusters, whether it was ancient Greece or Silicon Valley today, or when China had their rise, there was genius clusters. Why were they all occurring in a certain area?
Yeah, because I think it's depending from the environment, maybe the social system you grow up. Like Dr. J was saying, when you grow up like from 0 to 6, your subconscious mind is actually being created and is really influenced a lot by external factor. So if that external factor like puts you in a position to grow in a certain way, it's really hard to change. If everything you see is going that way, it's hard to change your perspective or something else. Like for example, every time that I talk with Sean, Giacomo, Anna, and Andrea, that is the guy that actually do the Instagram, and I feel like I have like a way different perspective, since basically when I was 15, I moved to New York to play basketball, and then like from 15 years old to right now that I'm 20, I've been living outside Italy, so I changed a lot of culture. From the US, I live also in Spain. Now I'm in Missouri. I live in North Carolina too. So I I met I met a lot of people that were living in different ways than mine, different cultures, and that actually opened my mind to see something else that was different from what I was seeing every time that I come back from, for vacations, see my family, see my friends. And, like around a year ago, I was talking with one of my former high school teammates, and he was telling me that he started doing forex trading, talking about like, financial freedom, and I never heard about it because it's not a topic that you cover in school. Like in fact, like I was researching about it, and also like the U.S. they don't talk about it in school. So, and something like in common that we have in our educational system. So I feel like I'm not like I've been scammed by the system, but it's like being weird because nobody talk about it. So I started like digging a little bit more. Then the pandemic hit. After a couple months, I got injured, so I actually get more deep into this topic. And here am I. So basically, yeah, I'm going to answer your question. I think I kind of lost the track, but yeah.
Yeah, and you touched on it, and I want to kind of pivot to Dr. J real quick. That's Dr. J in the house. I just realized. But you talked again about the subconscious, and I want to throw it to Dr. J. So I have a 8-month-old and a 4-year-old, and just any kind of any insight in towards any ways I can prime these subconscious minds to give them less lack or whatever abundance in their lives. Is there any kind of, given your level of interest in studying it, what would you kind of suggest? Oh, Jay, you can't hear you.
I'm back. I muted myself. I forgot. So you got me right. So I like that question because it really truthfully is where all the action is, because like I also do mental coaching for professional athletes, and most of the athletes that I struggle the most with it's where their issue was. And so I'll explain it this way, is that what they did is, as children, there was an event that took place or an experience that they had that they oftentimes mislabeled or misinterpreted. Because when you're 4, 5, 6 years of age, you don't have the mental capacity to understand what happened. So like, let's say, for example, I am your kid and how old did you say your kids are?
10 months and 4 years old.
Yeah. So let's do the 4-year-old. So if the 4-year-old is always trying to get your attention, but then you don't acknowledge them, and when they look for the attention, you walk away, they might think that they're not worthy of your love. And they're just like, well, if I'm not worthy of my dad's love, whose love am I worthy of as an adult? And so you wouldn't, they're not consciously coming up with this. So 4-year-old's not conscious enough to understand that. However, in a very basic way, they're like, this person who's important in my life doesn't love me, and it becomes internalized as a lack of self-esteem, low self-worth. So a lot of it is you really want to throw them some softballs, some easy wins. Like, hey, let's try something here and let's see how you can do it. Oh my God, look, you jumped up on that step. Like, that's so great. Like, good job. And just basically elevating their emotions and just letting them know that you're present and that you're paying attention, and just like the basics, just of like exuding love. It's not that you need to focus on doing anything specific, but there's certain things you don't want to do. You don't want them to think that you're not there for them. If they vie for your attention, be there. But it's a tricky game. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a child psychologist, but right. It is an important question to ask, but they've got to feel love, man. That's everything.
Very interesting.
I totally agree with you. Let's get back to this question. If we can help out River Rock Homestead here. He has had this question about a few minutes ago. Just starting on my YouTube channel, he's got 91 subscribers and get anywhere from 100 views to 13,000 views.
13,000.
I saw Rico, any advice to keep views consistent? No, you're doing a great job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Teach us, Rick.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Or Rock.
once
River Rock.
in those numbers, that's great. I don't know.
Yeah, he's rocking, like, literally.
Yeah.
River Rock needs to give advice to us. It's not the opposite way.
Everybody go to his channel.
Little Rock, if you want to have an interview with us,
You can be the. You can be the.
From now, you can stream with us.
That's funny.
I don't know. I mean, me, don't even ask. Don't bother asking me. I don't know if you guys can help out and keep his views consistent. Any advice there, guys?
I'm a big keyword research guy. I don't know about you guys, but I plan out my videos based on keywords first. So I reverse engineer it. That's what I do. I look for traffic and I look for videos that that I can sometimes even piggyback off of. I really study like the top 3 videos and look at their metrics and see why I think they got there and how I can take one piece from each of those 3 and put it into my own version.
That's a good YouTube secret. I like that. I hope everybody got that. That's a good one. Good job, Jay. Thank you.
I would say, yeah, keyword is important. Putting hashtags as well. You have the possibility to put 3 hashtags, so use them. And I would say you have to bring people from outside. You can do it on LinkedIn, Facebook, Reddit, I don't know. You name it.
Yeah, other platforms for sure.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys explored YouTube Shorts? I bumped into some guy who was talking about YouTube Shorts, and I didn't think it was anything. Just if for those people that don't know what it is, it basically is YouTube's answer to competing with TikTok. So you're basically created that vertical. Yep, and it's less than a minute. I think it's actually going to be less than 57 seconds. I'm pretty sure. But I saw a couple because I was like, yeah, this is probably just a gimmick. He's trying to get likes and subscribes. But I researched it and I found a couple channels that had like hardly any traffic, any subscribers. And then all of a sudden there was one where it was just a German Shepherd walking around. I still don't know what happened. And it was like 16,000 views. Wow. So I'm like, wow, there is something here. Any of you guys, any experience with YouTube Shorts?
Nothing.
But right now it's on my checklist.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we gotta do it. We gotta
Yeah.
River Rock, anything for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta look into that. I gotta look at that.
Yeah, there's a guy, I want to say his YouTube channel's Channel Mixer or Channel Guide, Channel something. You'll see it when it comes up. He's like a precious, goofy, geeky little UK guy, and he's pretty good at explaining it. And I think it's worth. I think it's, you're rolling the dice. I think YouTube wants to promote it, so if you give them something, they're going to do their best to get it out there. But I just think that my content doesn't fit that structure. It would be more like, what a TikTok video would be. One of those dance things that my nieces do, where I'm like, I don't even like what like.
There's a way you could package, even less like what you gimmick, even less than what you would think. Like what's his name? Logical Finance. He's huge on TikTok. He's got last I checked over 250,000 followers on TikTok, and he just makes like interesting little trinkets of financial content. Like he did this one just explaining some economic theory of holding on to something towards how we treat razors. Like when you get a pack of razors and you're shaving, somehow that last razor always lasts the longest, Yeah. So we have one left. Like just
that one the other day.
I don't know, like it's he does it so many times. I suggest everyone follow. I'm a big fan of his channel. But yeah, it's YouTube is an interesting competitive game too. One thing I think about, upload content frequency and dominating a keyword is so important. Like if you're ranking in something, like almost, I always go back to my wife because I'm worse about this. My wife has over 60,000 subscribers and has like a real avid following, but she just dominates the heck out of a keyword and almost like makes the same video over and over again.
Yes. Yeah, I like that a lot because even when I did my research, I have one video that's ranked like 3rd for how to elevate your emotions. And I'm competing with the guru that inspired me to create the Vibe Mindset. And so to your point, I today made the switch that I need to focus on emotion videos. And also, if you guys have ever heard of Help a Reporter Out, that's a great way to get like get in Men's Health, get in like journals, get on Thrive Global, but they want experts. And so you can't get a link, and you can't get interviewed, and you can't get in one of those publications and get all that those eyeballs on your offer unless you become an expert. So you really do have to poise yourself, or position yourself rather, as an expert in something. And so I think imagination and emotion are going to be my focus. And so to your point, I do like that strategy a lot about finding one super small niche and almost making it like a hub. And then everything you do is like a branch off of that, but you stay near that hub.
But would you, and I was, something resonated with me that you said earlier, just about how like your channel is just like something that you can create and almost legacy in a way and things like that. So sometimes I'll just get like really selfish with my content, and like I don't necessarily care that it doesn't get like thousands of views, but like I'm just glad that it's in there. And like even the video I did last week was, you know, I don't do, you know, I do a lot of investing content, but I did like one about talking about my small business, and I know my subscriber base isn't really here for that, but maybe I want to build that out too, or can. It's so hard to be diverse in your channel. That's why so many people are making multiple channels. And it's really a tough business to maybe you should do that, you know, or create multiple channels to hone in on content.
Well, guys, that's how I structured my channel initially, because I know I got so much, like on a daily basis, I'm like pew 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 pew. So maybe this can help you guys or anybody else watching, and that is why I color coded my thumbnails, and I've got different topics that I can talk about because there's so much going on. But I think it's more of a hindrance. I think it's more of a negative for the, you know, for the YouTube, for the algorithm, especially for me, because, you know, people just, I realize, you know, just don't know what they're going to get when they click on one of my videos, right? So, but I'm not doing it for my content's for basically, I'm doing it for my kids, to be honest, so they know who their father really was, like later on in life. So, and just have fun with it. Like that's really basically me. So. But yeah, for you guys, it's tough. I mean, Ryan and I've spoken about this before. It's like kind of really tough to like, what do you throw out there today to do so much, right?
Well, Ryan, I mean, my answer to your question is what makes you unique is you. So, I mean, authentic self and just being you and being real. Like if I had an investment channel, I'd be like, I screwed up last week. I screwed up big, and I would just go into it. And people would be like, wow, like I connected with you because you're real. Like, why does anyone connect with anyone? Just always remember KLT, know, like, trust. And I also think the piece missing from that is emotion and authenticity. So if you're like, hey man, I'm going through this thing and this is what it was like, people are like, oh my God, man, I invested like that and I screwed up. Like, and they're totally connected with you at that point. Yeah. So if you're your authentic self, and you know, it's so easy. We have like these mirror neurons where you just want to be like everyone else to fit in, because if you didn't fit in a tribe in the Neanderthal days, you were pushed out and eaten by saber-toothed tigers. So there's a desire to want to fit in that's, I think, very deep in our minds, right? So to go against that grain is flirting with getting your, you know, buttocks eaten by a saber-toothed tiger and get booted out of the tribe. So I see now that there are no saber-toothed tigers, take the risk, be authentic, get emotional, and just like get into it, like have a vibe. Like you even said when you were listening to me, you're like, dude, I can feel your vibe. Like people can feel vibes. Like how can we feel yours?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, while we're on the topic, let's touch base quickly on thumbnails. How do you guys get the creativity side of like creating your thumbnails? Where does that come from? And how do you do it? Everything. Just quickly. 1 minute per person on this one. We're running low of time here. We're coming up to the hour mark. So 1 minute per person.
All right. Basically, I already got my preset and the colors that I want to do and why I want to do this color. So normally I got like a blue background,
right? Very
easy to understand, very captive, very calm too, and maybe a person, if you're talking about like a biography, or if you're talking about concept, maybe somebody that have talked about it, and you know, 2-3 words max, and yeah, that's it. I also use white and like a flashy green, so you know, very captive, very easy to understand. So you get to your home screen or YouTube. You see? Click on.
Yeah, excellent.
And we have a good CTR. So that's
Yeah, we try to. I'm trying to improve it a little bit.
I like the logo, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I made it.
Guys, it looks very sharp, very sharp. Excellent. Jay.
Yeah, I just went pink because I never saw anyone with a pink background. So I'm like, how do I stand out? Do what other people aren't doing. So pink, the 3 letters. I have a really good guy I've got who does all my digital stuff. He's from Indonesia. So, it doesn't cost me much. And he just does my thumbs. And I try to get in the flow of posting every 1 to 2 days. And so I take a screenshot where while I'm shooting my videos, I'll do like one of these, or I'll do these, and I'll hold it for a second so it's clear. Because if you're moving too much, it's blurry. And I'll be like, and then I'll take a screenshot of that, send it to him, find the 3 words I want that appeal not to me and not to my contact, me. No, to them. What did they want to see? What problem are they looking to solve? And I try to make it the copy based on what people want. And that's all I do. Keep it clean and tight and colorful. That's my vibe.
Yeah, I also like the way you explain it. Make the thumbnail for them and for the spectators, for somebody that is looking for. Because if you're going through YouTube and you're trying to learn something on YouTube, you want to actually understand stuff, being easy, be direct, and
stand out.
I like your mentality, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. It's just so easy to get caught up in yourself, and you're like, me. It's like, wait a minute, I'm trying to appeal to you.
Yeah, especially now with social media, everyone trying to show off with Instagram, maybe have a fancy life, luxury cars, maybe living in a mansion, something like that. I mean, not everybody can do that. So, maybe it's better to be humble and focus on your content, on what you're doing, and bring value to the other people.
Yeah, and I think the one thing I just want to say real quick, and I kind of touched upon it, but in my area of like subconscious law of attraction, like my little world that I hang out in, you go to Instagram and everyone's posting memes, everyone's posting affirmations. I can't tell who's who because everyone looks the same. It's like going to a Catholic school and we're all wearing the same outfit. And me, if you want to go see something different, and I'm not doing this to have you go to my Instagram to follow, I don't care about my Instagram. I'm all about YouTube now. But I have a very cool Instagram where it's visually unique. And I put a lot of effort and thought into it. And when you see it, you're like, oh my God, there's this pattern, there's this flow. It's kind of almost art, not to pat myself on the back too much, but I really did put time, effort, and thought into it. And it pops. And everyone DMs me and says, hey, I really like the way your page looked. I get half of the DMs I get are people want to ask how I did my page, not what my content's about.
Nice. Okay, so we can connect with you on Instagram then, right? And there's on your YouTube channel, there's a link there for Instagram there.
Yeah. I don't check Instagram. I don't remember. I was so Instagram, and then they banned me because I liked too many comments or did whatever. And I got shadow banned once when I had like 65,000 followers, and they totally burned me. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm a little like bitter towards Instagram, and I just think you got to go to YouTube. I think it's all about YouTube.
Yeah. Definitely. So, guys, I just want to talk here just quickly with Cody here. And if you guys have had a chance to go see Keenan's channel, Keenan, we had him on not that long ago, just a couple of shows
ago. He had under like 500 subscribers, and now he's over 20,000.
And if you guys get a chance, go check out Keenan Grace. Anybody watching this, go and check out Keenan's channel. Subscribe. He is so fun to watch. He does a video every day about the markets. What's hot? What's to buy? What's to let go? And what's to sell? He's got it, man. He's tapped into it. He's hitting it hard now too. He's doing great.
Is it emotions? Like when you it sounds like the way that you're describing him, it's emotional and it's intense. And he's connected. Is that what it is?
He's your buddy, man. He's there. He's got your back. Look out. Jump on this back. I'm taking you to the promised land. He is like pow all the way through. And he's good, man. He's fire right now. So if you guys get a chance, go check out anybody watching this. Go and check out Keenan's channel and subscribe and make a quick comment, to him as well. He gets back to you all the time, man. He's great to see. So, anything you guys want to talk about in regards to wrapping up pretty soon? We're just like 4 minutes over the hour. I know we should touch base quickly. It'd be interesting to hear quickly how things are going on in Italy with you guys in COVID. You know, the vaccines are out. Nice to see.
From
Pfizer.
what I heard, I think they'll start giving us vaccines from January. They'll start from the people that are more vulnerable, and yeah, we had a new lockdown. Now things are starting to get a bit softer, and yeah, the toughest part was around the end of February, March, and yeah, there's I discovered that one day, two days before it broke out, it came out that there was a lot of people infected. I was on the underground here in Milan, and I was along all the fans for a soccer match, and 2 months later it came out that something like 20% of the people that went to that match came in contact with the virus. So there's a chance I had it, but I don't know because I never tested for it. It came out.
Also,
This research came out something like 3 months later. So by the time it came out, I would have had it, but all my family members were fine. So all the people that were in contact with me were fine. So I don't know.
Yeah, actually, like about COVID, about like a few months ago, it was like July. I mean, my uncle got COVID, and I mean, he passed away. And I mean, it was tough for me. Was more tough for my mother because they were really close. And it's some hard times. There are a lot of people that say, COVID is speculation. Some, I don't know, some yes, I don't know, something like that.
I also know a guy that died because of COVID, so it's not BS.
Yeah, so like, I mean, real people are getting sick and are dying. Actually, like the grandparent of the guy of Andrea, he's the guy that covered our Instagram. He had COVID, and he's still in the hospital right now at the moment. So I mean, we gotta be careful, everyone. I mean, wearing our mask, doing our social distancing, and keep it clean, everything. So I mean, I know in the US it's way different. It changed state to state. I know California they're doing a lot of stuff, but in Florida they're not doing like that much. I'm in Missouri, for my college, and I mean, since my city, I mean, it's not a city, it's like a small town. It's a really small town, probably like 2,000-3,000 people in there. And I mean, because it's on the country, there are not a lot of people. I think we got like probably 2 or 3 cases of COVID. So it was good. We were taking like good precaution with good measures. So, but yeah, definitely like we gotta be safe and cautious of what we're doing. So
Yeah, definitely be safe.
Take
Jay,
care.
what do you think?
Shauna, you got anything to add?
Talking about good news, they're all talking about there's going to be like a third wave in next January, February here, because we're thinking already of opening things again, like nothing just happened. So that's not it. So they're thinking there's going to be another lockdown in February. Hope not, but
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we hope no.
It's tough at the beginning. The first one was really tough for Italy.
yeah.
Yeah, but taking in consideration everything, it started really hard here, but during in the last few months, I think in France it got even worse. So you have to be careful. And when there are less people infected, don't undervalue. Don't think that it's gone.
Even because here numbers are getting a bit lower, talking about positive people, but still the deaths are very high, like 800 to 900 deaths a day. So
In Italy?
yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that high in Italy.
Yeah, we reached 950 deaths about 3 or 4 days ago, and that was the highest number.
Yeah.
And you gotta also consider that the population of Italy is around 60 million people, around that.
So old.
And the average age is like older, about like 36, 40 years old. So it's
Right.
Yeah.
It-
It's hard also because of the age. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So you guys are hoping there's not another lockdown, or
we hope there's not.
I hope
But
not.
yeah, like we have to do it like we keep doing what we're doing, you know, like keep going with the channel, studying, and you know, doing push-ups when we have to.
Wear the mask, social distance, man. Seriously.
Yeah. Of course, we don't hope in a lockdown, but we want to have some freedom. But we have to take our responsibility personally.
it's interesting. I am in Florida right now, and there really is no restriction. We're going more of the, I think, the Sweden route right now.
Yeah.
Which I find fascinating. Sweden is actually, not really doing any harsh lockdowns. And I'm not sure it's just the way that the society set up. Again, demographics, ages. They're going to have less overall deaths in the country than they did in like the last 5 years. Like actually, less people will die.
Yeah, but the population of Sweden is really small.
But that's not what I said. I said the comparative to each of the previous last 5 years. Actually, I'm saying overall, you think more people would have died because of COVID.
Yeah.
It doesn't do with the population. Like you just thought with the virus, more people. And I just think, again, is it due to the age population? Are they more of they live further away type society, or what makes Sweden so different?
They enforced the masks right away.
No.
Everybody.
Sweden has no mask.
I mean, they more probably is
They
the culture, because I mean, here in Italy and also in Spain, we got at the beginning when they say, "Oh, you gotta stay home." Most of the people just thought there was, vacation, go party all the time, and drinking and getting in crowds, and so basically doing everything that you weren't supposed to do. So I think that's why is the first main reason, because we're mostly that kind of people that if you told him to do something, you say why I have to listen to him, because I gotta take my decisions and something like that. So I think that's more why I think like maybe Swedes are more likely to actually follow the laws, follow the rules a little bit more. Yeah, I think
like
just culture.
One of our politicians here in Italy at the beginning said, COVID doesn't exist. What's COVID? And he sent a picture on Facebook. He shared a picture on Facebook with his friends drinking. A week later, he catches COVID.
Yeah, I remember that.
Ignorant. But I must say, Italy, I was surprised. I mean, handled this COVID thing, this lockdown quite well. I was surprised because Italians, I don't know, they do the opposite you tell them to do.
Yeah. At the start, it was completely new, so we didn't know how to handle that.
We were all
But
ignorant.
as things continued, we understood basically. But going back to Sweden, I think I thought I found out something on Instagram, on the Bloomberg articles that they post on Instagram, and I found it out right now, and it says Swedes lose faith in herd immunity COVID-19 strategy. So yeah, it may turn not that well for them. It was published on the 26th of November, so it's quite recent, I would say.
Okay, well, on to bigger, brighter things. The vaccines are out, so let's really get those out.
Hopefully,
the last few months, right? It's more about the vaccine.
Hopefully they'll use fast delivery.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if Italy can manufacture. I don't know if you guys bought the license from Pfizer or not.
Yeah.
Manufacture. So you guys are manufacturing it in Italy? Yes.
I don't know if they're manufacturing over here or they're delivering from the US. I don't know.
We're Americans, so we're greedy. We just sell to the highest bidder. So you can just make us the offer, and you can have all of ours. We'll just
we made our
and sell stuff. We're wicked smart over here. You should come to the dark side.
All right, but the government made a deal with Pfizer.
Yeah. So we got 249,000 coming in early next week. So, but it's good to see the UK just the other day started vaccinating everybody there. So hopefully it's increasing sooner than later. But in the meantime, man, wear the mask. Like, I had a buddy that had it, and he had to lock himself in his bedroom away from his family for 35 days. And he was a big guy, and he was just like, it hit me on my butt. Like he's never experienced something like that before in his life.
It's something else.
Yeah, it's something else. Really knocked him out.
A friend of mine the other day. I mean, of course, we didn't have it, so we were just make supposition and hypothesis of like how it feels like, and we came up like it's probably like feels like you can't breathe. You know, like when you go underwater and you feel like you're out of breath. So I think we did something like that, and it keep constant. You know, like I don't know about you, but like if you're go on the pool with your buddies, you play like put the head of somebody under the water and keep doing like, I mean, just stupid game, you know. And basically like you feel like you about to drown on down, so come up, take a little bit of air, and then you go down again because they push you. And we think it's something like that. Of course, we don't know for sure, but I mean, if you keep going for a lot of time, I mean, it's crazy. Like it's like a torture.
Yeah. At first, I thought it was a bit of a hoax. Not really a hoax, but I thought, it was just an exaggeration of the flu. But then I have heard a few friends that had friends, and then to have it really kick close to home and hear their stories really makes you realize that hang on for a sec. Be safe. It's temporary. Let's get all through this the best that we can and work together. And just be safe with one another. Right? Like, don't fight one. I think we still have protests going on here, like maskless protests in Toronto, Saturdays. So, which is really unfortunate. Super spreader, unfortunately.
But isn't there? Could you make the argument for like everyone? I mean, we're in this 8 months. Like everyone should have a decent interpretation of the risk that they're going into, and it could be that personal freedom argument too. Like I said, coronavirus has been a terrible pandemic and lethal. But I could tell you, being in the business world, it's been, I've seen just as much damage and depression and loss within just even like just watching like these California restaurants. I'm in the restaurant business. Spending all this money to make their outside seating as safe as possible and doing all this just to get shut down again, and then watch their governor go eat at crowded dinners. And then watch other politicians in vacation telling people to stay at home. I think people should understand the risk and take responsibility for the risk they take. Like just like anything in investing, you have to take responsibility for your risk. The virus is out there. What risk are you willing to?
As long as you're not going to affect anybody else, right? Yeah, as long as you're not going to affect anybody else, that's fine.
Don't go run and spit on people.
Yeah, I mean, but you wearing a mask, I mean, you got to wear pants.
But I think
You gotta wear pants.
Yeah, you don't go in the street walking naked. Like, I mean,
You gotta wear pants. So what's wrong with wearing a mask for a while? To, you know, and not only save yourself, but to save others. Like at the end of the day, that's what it is. So, right?
Where I was
Go.
so where you can see it stretched to where, you know, people who want to go eat at a restaurant, well, you can't wear a mask and eat at a restaurant. So are you a threat to society because you went and ate at a restaurant, or are you did you accept some risk? You know, getting in my car every day, I accept risk. You know, I could get in a car accident. At what level do you accept risk every day in your life?
Yeah,
I feel like
you do. It's not risking anybody else's life.
I mean, can I say something?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mickey.
I mean, I feel like with everything, with like pandemic, COVID, lockdown in some places, and you know, normal life in other places, I think like a moral issues came up because I mean, some people actually can't live off without their like regular job, like they got a 9 to 5 and they have to be there. So if they don't show up, basically they can't pay rent or maybe pay the bank or debts or whatever, and that's also like a financial crisis in some sort of way. So I think like the moral issue will be like it is right to actually like make, yeah, of course you may like people leave because they survive a pandemic, but they are going to be able to pay off all their debts, or they can pay their debts and keep living like normal people, or you can go away, I mean walk away on the streets normally, but you may die the next day because of this virus. And I mean, I think it's really interesting because something like I think most people are in conflict too, and I don't know what your thoughts are about it.
I think Dr. J could probably agree with this, but like, you know, we talk about wearing the mask and cleaning everything, but why aren't we talking about improving our immune systems, doing all this and how to combat it? If you get it, you're closing down gyms. I mean, Rick, you mentioned your friend. He wasn't he wasn't in the best physical shape.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying, and that's why like it's drastically affecting people in certain levels. Like, you know, if you're younger and good health, like you probably can fight the virus. Like you overwhelmingly have great odds in your favor. But if you're 65 with a pre-existing condition or overweight or other things, but Dr. J, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. My research has shown, because don't forget, I'm an eye doctor, so I get this close to your face during a part of the exam, and you can't get much closer than that unless you're cheating on your girlfriend. So, you know, it's pretty darn close. And so for me, talk about timely. I saw patients today, I'm seeing patients tomorrow. I may bail after tomorrow and just shut it down because it's all getting pretty close. But what I find is I have patients come to me, and depending on their perspective on things, I am subject to being this close to everyone, regardless of whether they're Trump or this or that. I don't do politics. I could care less. I do my own thing. But, you know, everyone is going to be this close to me no matter what. And I've had some people that have their version of a mask where it's like a see-through veil. I don't even know what it is. And then they're the exact people that I say, don't talk when I'm in your face, please. And they're like, wow, that light's so bright. And I'm like, oh my freaking God. I'm a crazy doctor. I will swear at you. I will call you out. I just don't care. Because I'm really good at what I do. But if you piss me off or you disrespect me, I'm coming for your throat. I want blood everywhere. And so people, when they do this, I'm like, you're putting me at risk, you piece of, are we allowed to swear? You know what? And so it's like, come on. Like I'm not making enough money. So I just sold one of my race cars the other day. I'm like, you know what? Screw all of you. like the bad patients, not the good ones. I have great patients, but some of them have done some real stupid stuff. I have people come in sick with the flu all the time prior to COVID. People come in sick all the time, like, oh God. I'm like, hey, I took the day off because I feel like crap, but I'm here. I'm like,
Oh,
what?
geez.
Nice.
So I work, but don't understand. I work in an environment where people, there's a lot of drugs, bad decision making. There's good people, but there's a lot of bad people. I mean, there's sirens all day long going by my office. So I try to help a more in need demographic, but there's a price to pay for that, and they don't respect me that much. And so I struggle. I go up and down. There's a part of me that's very caring and compassionate, but there's a part of me that just, I don't know, that just isn't.
See their side of it.
Yeah. It's tough. But here's the thing that gets me real quick is I think the statistic, and don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure this is true, that when this pandemic hit, I think the average American had like enough to live for like either 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, $400 in the bank, whatever it is. What gets me is like, no one talks about what a wake-up call this is to our debtor society. It's like, you have this huge mortgage, you have this car. It's like half of my patients, like I'm an eye doctor, I would think I make decent money. My car, I could leave it on the side of the road when it dies and it doesn't matter. It's like worth $2,000. I have one worth $2,000, one worth like probably $2-3 grand. I don't have expensive stuff, but because of that, I can just bail tomorrow on my office and just ride out for 6 months and just hang out and chill and do YouTube videos and work on my click-through rate. But most people can't go freaking 4 weeks without having the car repoed. It's like, guys, hello? Is this not a wake-up call? Are you going to change your decision-making process so the next time something like this happens, like maybe there'll be a wake-up call? Like, I don't know what it's like in Italy, but all we do is put everything on credit because I need to be as good as you. And no matter what I have, I need to have what you have so I don't feel less than you. Rant over.
Yeah. No, we don't use credit that much. In America, you use credit for everything, for starting, for here it's not the case.
Smart.
Yeah.
It's
Is it
huge.
all cash or Bitcoin?
We just print.
Sorry.
Is it all cash or Bitcoin?
Credit card, but you can something like delay the payment for X amount of months or something like that. You have in America, you have people that default on credit card debt. This thing doesn't happen over here. You can really you can really borrow a ton of money with credit cards. That's something that doesn't happen in Europe. I never heard about that stuff. Only on CNBC and Bloomberg.
Yeah, my grandfather was a janitor, and when he passed away, he only paid cash for everything: house, cars. Never had a credit card, debit card, nothing. And when he passed away, as a janitor making very minimal wage, he passed away. He had 500 grand in the bank, cash. It's like, that's pretty impressive for a guy. He used to make us when we went for walks back before, you guys are all too young for this, but in America back in the day, you would have the newspaper in this little thing that you put change in. And so we would have a route where we'd whack him because he was from the Great Depression. So we'd whack the crap out of him to try to get some change, or sometimes there was already change in there. And we'd also do the same thing with like the phones. And we'd probably go for a walk and make like $2-3. And that was his daily $2 to $3 profit for him.
Remember those newspaper dispensing things? They would sit there and concrete base to them, and it was cool. You put coins in and open up and grab one paper.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, but it's all your perspective. You know, I used to have a Ferrari, a big house, Mercedes, all that stuff. I got rid of all of it. I have like a scooter and cheap cars and live in an inexpensive house. And I'll be honest with you, I feel free. I feel like a weight is off my shoulders. You know, the Ferrari sounded cool. As you guys know, you're from Italy. It was cool to have a little horse and all that crazy shit, but whatever. I checked the box. It's like, oh, I had a Ferrari. Okay, good. Bye. Done.
Interesting. Why did you decide? What made you decide to make that move, Jay?
It just, you know what it was? It was one number. I did the math of what it was. How much does it cost to be me, to live like me? And that number was way higher than it should have been. Like when I figured it out, it actually, like it freaked me out. Like I legit, even I can feel it like in my chest right now, even just thinking about the number, because I know the exact number. And I was like, that's what it costs for me just to exist. I'm like, who the hell am I? Like, am I the Prince of Monaco? You know? And I'm like, you know, I looked in the mirror and I'm like, I don't look like the Prince of Monaco. So, you know, actually I probably kind of do actually, if it's the guy I'm thinking of. But anyways, so I was like, I'm out. And I was like, you know what? I got enough content on my phone. I had enough women sleep over that were half my age in my big house. I checked every box. You have the threesome, you have the Ferrari, you have the big house. Check box, check box, check box. Sell all the shit. Go into a smaller place and just.
All right, you're a whole family show here now. That's it. Keep going. It's just like now it's become R-rated.
Like literally, like my biggest thrill now is the simple things. Like I go for a walk. I have a state forest out here, and when I go for a walk, I just listen and I don't bring technology. And you know how many business ideas I have when I go in the woods and free my mind? Do you know how many business ideas I have when I go for a jog? Do you know how many business ideas I have when I go on my scooter that's worth $600 and I drive it to the vineyard that's like 3-4 miles away and then come back when there's all these rich people with all their nice expensive stuff and I pull up with a $600 scooter with stickers all over it? I have like a great simple life and it's way better. Freedom is the key. Freedom from the weight of money.
Freedom is key. Freedom is it. Yep, absolutely. Freedom is it. You know, freedom. Oh man, it's the best. So, well, guys, that's an hour and a half. Holy. So, guys, let's go. We'll go around the circle here quickly, 1 minute each, and we'll just, wrap up thoughts and whatnot. That was great. That was really, really fun tonight, guys. Thank you very much for your input on everything. Covered a lot of topics. So, Mickey, if you want to go first, then we'll just keep going around, and whatever you guys want to say in closing, that'd be great.
Yeah, like Dr. J said, I mean, freedom is the goal. Definitely. I think I'm right to say for all household that is our goal to be free, or don't worry about money or what we gotta pay for in the future. I mean, we're still young because I think I'm the older one with 20 years old, but we pretty
I'm
much
20 as well.
Yeah, I'm like a couple of months older.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but like, we're still young. Like, we're just getting in our 20s, so we have plenty of life ahead of us. So it would be nice to actually like have a free. Don't worry about a lot of stuff. I think that's my goal. I think the goal of my teammates too.
Keep your carrying costs, your expenses low. Keep them low, man. Especially at this stage of life, very low. So, good eye. Sean?
So, well, thank you, Rick, for having us.
No, thank you guys for joining us.
I had a really nice conversation. Meeting new people is always nice. And Dr. J, I wrote down some advices, tips you gave. Very interesting. I love your unique style. You're always trying to make different things, always trying to be different from other ideas, other people. And I love that mindset.
Thank you. That was very kind of you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. I really appreciate it. I can tell it's from your heart. You know what's funny? You can feel it. And guys, we don't do this stuff. So men need to do this more often. Like chicks do it all the time. Like, why can't I say I love you guys? Why can't I be like, yo, bro, I love you. Like, I appreciate that. That was so kind of you. Like, why can't we do that, right?
Good view. No, I really love the way you say I use pink light. Is that everybody is using this, so I'm doing this differently. That's great mindset. I really envy that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was great talking to you, and I really like to talk about how we view things from different perspectives, and I really enjoyed hearing Dr. J and listening to him. And you know what's funny? It's that when I compare Italian and English. In Italian, there are less words to describe feelings, and so hearing about it's really nice to hear and listen talking about feelings, because it's not that common from my perspective. Really nice, because I think there's it's because languages there's not exact translation. Every word has its shades of meanings, and English is really nice to describe feelings. So hearing people from different backgrounds talk about stuff that you don't usually talk about is really nice. So it was really inspiring. Hopefully if you check out our channel, I really hope you find it helpful. So thank you for having us for this conversation.
Anytime. Yeah, please, everybody go and check out their channel, Hustle Hub, and Dr. J's channel as well, the Vibe Mindset. Again, down and below, the links are down in the description below. Just click on it, watch a few videos, like them, and definitely subscribe. That'd be great. So Jay, what would you like to say?
Sure. So thank you, Giacomo. That was cool. And you know, I think one thing when we talk about feelings that's important is we do everything for a feeling. Like the only reason why I even got a Ferrari, because I was like, when I got rid of it, I didn't care. And I'm like, even when I got it, I thought it was cool, but I didn't think it was that cool. Like it was kind of a pain in the butt. And then I was like, why did I even get this? And I realized I just had like this moment where I'm like, I grew up poor. I was the dumb kid. Like my sister was the smart one, the good looking one. I was the dumb, short, skinny kid. Now I'm like 6'2", 230. And they call me doctor at work, which is crazy. But you know, I realized the only reason I did it was for a feeling, the feeling that I did it, the feeling that I could be proud of myself, the feeling that I could say to my mom, who is a good mother, but you know, I don't think she believed in me as not. It was like, hey, look what I did. Like I'm a doctor and I had a Ferrari, like checking the box, like these weird childhood things where I just wanted to prove myself. So I think when you think about it, you do things for a feeling. So the reason why it's important to know that is that feelings can be had. I can feel proud whether I have a Ferrari, or I can feel proud if I got on a call with you gentlemen tonight and we had a great conversation. It's like that feeling can be had so many different ways. So don't make it this big target that's this far away and this hard to get. Like go like this. Like for me, when I work out tomorrow, I feel proud. Why? Because I always over deliver. I'm 100% effort, 100% attitude. I get into it. I deliver. I go. So I'll feel proud tomorrow just from a workout. Like I feel proud just from that, from a workout in a basement in a $250,000 house. It's not super nice, not super expensive. It's the one I grew up in. So I can feel feelings I want easier. And so don't make feelings so far away to feel, because feelings are the secret. Feelings, everything. I mean, yeah. It's everything. And you know, one last thing, and this relates back to YouTube real quick and relates to feelings. One thing I do, I'll even show you when I'm about ready to do a video, I'll come in and I'm back here and I'll start clapping. I'm like, I'll do push-ups. I get amped. And then all of a sudden I'll sit down and I'll start doing my video and I'm already primed. So if you guys want to bring energy to your video, like I literally will pace. I will start pounding my chest. I do weird shit. And I will start getting so primed that by the time I sit down, you feel my energy. And so, you know, Ryan, once again, you know, when you talk about being authentic and bringing a vibe, like I create that vibe, because to me, vibe is energy and frequency and vibration. That's all it is. And so I create it because you're the creator. Like everyone thinks that like this God is over here. It's like the creation is within you, source, God, energy, whatever you want to call it. So create, bring the vibe, bring the energy. People love energy. They feel it and they want it. And they, especially nowadays, they're drawn to it. So there you go.
I feel it now from you. I just want to do push-ups now. So
what a motivator, eh?
Your energy is incredible. I just love everything you say. It just makes me want to do stuff.
I try to imagine what it feels like to have that energy on a Ferrari, which is quite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time you decide to buy a Ferrari, keep it over here in Italy. That you have the best racetrack in the world. Monza, Mugello, the top Formula One tracks are here.
Oh,
So-
Mugello, yeah, of course, of course. Oh God, I love it.
Ryan, what would you like to say, buddy?
Gentlemen, it was a pleasure. I thoroughly enjoyed, learned a lot of different perspectives, and have subscribed to all the different channels. And it was an engaging. It feels like an hour and 40 minutes flew by. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining and providing value. And I didn't realize how young you guys were. You're 20 years old and already this far.
With the beard.
I was your age.
Looks like a father now.
When I was your age, I was doing bong hits in the basement somewhere. So you guys are doing much better than I. So it's awesome.
Yeah, you guys are off to
But I'm fresh in university, so I have all the knowledge, and I want to share it.
I love it. You're ahead of the game.
Thanks.
Well, as always, guys, thanks a lot to all you guys for joining us. That has been a lot of fun. And yeah, like I said at the beginning, backstage is like, okay, we'll keep this to an hour, and that was it. Well, like Ryan just says, like an hour 45 almost right now. So it flew by. That was really interesting. Great conversations, guys. And everybody out there, stay safe. You guys in Italy, you guys stay safe. Wherever you are, Jay, you stay safe as well. And Ryan, as always, you stay safe, buddy. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. And look out for their videos. The next video. When's your next video coming out, Jay?
Probably tomorrow. I try to do one a day because
Wow.
why not?
Why not? Why not? And Hustle Hub, you guys coming out pretty soon?
Thanks. What's today's date?
Tomorrow, but it's already today right here because it's almost 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's already Friday, 5 in the morning, so it's Friday.
Yeah, thanks for doing that, guys. That's really cool of you guys.
That's pretty cool. That's cool.
Pretty cool, man. Really cool. So really appreciate that. And everybody watching, thank you guys. Always appreciate you guys. Everybody that comments and watches, thank you guys very much. So again, down in the description, the links to their channels. Go and subscribe. And then, until 2 weeks, Ryan and I will say we'll see you guys then.
It might be 3 weeks. We got to look at the holiday.
As always, we like to keep it, the surprise level high, right? So, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Rick. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Ciao.